Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this wisdom and inspiration with friends and family. When you look in Leviticus chapter 14, verse 33 and on, there it says, God spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, "It shall be when you come to the land which I give you," meaning when you arrive in Israel, in the Holy Land, "and I will afflict your homes with a tza'ra'at," with an affliction. Question, the wording here, as the primary commentary on the Torah points out, that is Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, the wording here seems to suggest that it's some kind of good news. God is not saying, if I will afflict your homes, or perhaps if it happens to be that your home gets afflicted, but rather he's telling it to them like as if this is some kind of good news that's going to happen in the future. God says, when you come to the land, and I will, notice the expression, I will afflict your homes with this tza'ra'at. What is going on here? Well, when you look in the further verses, it describes what happens if one indeed, after calling the priest to examine the walls, to examine the affliction, and it becomes indeed determined that this is outright tza'ra'at, which means impurity, then the wall needs to be demolished. Those stones that are afflicted, the part of the wall that's affected, needs to be removed. Rashi tells us something very interesting, quoting the sages of the Talmud. You see, God was telling them, this is good news, because what happened was, as the Jews were traveling through the desert for 40 years, the nations who occupied what was later going to be the Holy Land knew very well that they are approaching and they're coming their way. It wasn't a secret as to what the purpose of the Jews was traveling in that trajectory, in that direction. They understood that they will not be able to withstand the approach of the Jewish people, especially considering all the miracles that they heard about, all the great wonders that God had performed for them. However, they held out hope that eventually, one day, they will be able to come back to their ancestral land. Therefore, what they did is, in many of the homes, in these elaborate mansions, they built dummy walls to blend in with the existing walls. And behind those walls, they hid all these treasures, all their valuables, their possessions, their gold, their silver, their gems, their diamonds, and so on, hoping that they or their children will be able to come back and thus reclaim their properties, and with that, their treasures. Thus, God is saying to the people, this is great news. I am telling you that I will cause this affliction in order for you to be forced to break down the wall, a wall which otherwise you would never have thought, you've never considered destroying, because why would you? It seems to be in the right proper place. And that's when you're going to reveal, that's when you're going to find these treasures. What is the lesson over here? The lesson for us in life is, many times in life, we have these situations where we have these quote-unquote afflictions, and where we have to even break walls down, figuratively speaking. In other words, we have to get out of our comfort zone and get destroyed. Bad things seem to happen. And we wonder, why? God, why are you doing this to us? Why is this happening? The truth is that behind those situations, behind those quote-unquote walls, lie beautiful treasures. What we really need to hope for, what we need to really pray for, is that after we have to figuratively crush those walls down, after we have to, endure this discomfort, this unwanted situation, that we indeed merit to see and to enjoy those treasures. Because really, God doesn't do anything to us just to hurt us, just to cause us pain, just to cause us discomfort. In fact, every time there is a purpose, when we're lucky, when we have the proper merit, we get to see that purpose. And always, hopefully, that purpose is a positive one, a good one that we can appreciate as good because it's in the obvious realm of good and positivity.